Quick, what's the biggest cultural phenomenon happening right now? If you think it's the NBA Finals, you'd be wrong. But would you have guessed Love Island USA? If you're not into reality TV, this might not be on your radar. But don't worry, I'm here to dig in to the monocultural trend that's taking social media by storm. Now, don't forget, I'm Jones-Wesley, and I'm a cultural decoder. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. Today, we're talking about Love Island USA. What started as a spunky UK show that swam across the pond kind of without much of a splash has turned into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. But why now? This isn't the first season or the second of Love Island. It's in season 7. And maybe we can say it's the Ariana Madix effect. She joined in season 6, which also had bombshell ratings. Maybe it's our primal inherent craving for voyeurism, a tale as old as The Real World or The Bachelor. But here's the thing. Love Island is different. It's not just a dating free-for-all. Oh, no. There's a competitive edge here. The end couple who wins America's Favorite Couple walks away with a $100,000 cash prize. Americans love a little bit of pageantry, and what Love Island USA has been able to do is marry the pageantry of a competition show with a little bit of the sexiness of The Bachelor, with 7 strangers living in a house like the OG The Real World. So let's get into why Love Island is different and what you can learn as someone who wants to get attention in the attention economy. What the show is showcasing is how people can build the pillars of a relationship. It's about trust, it's about respect, it's about love, friendship, and of course, the undeniable attraction. Love Island is pretty primal. It's showcasing a bunch of very attractive 20-somethings who are in swimsuits for most of the time, even though they're not really swimming very often. But they're immediately attracted to each other on the outside. And if they start getting a little too cozy, boom, the producers bring in a bombshell. No, really, they literally call them bombshells. Each bombshell is there to stir it up and maybe break up a couple or two. If your couple's strong enough and the bombshells don't dissuade your partner, well, there are a lot of challenges to make sure that they're putting your relationships to the test. Things like asking, what's your number? And any iteration of playing spin the bottle that you can think of. These contestants are kissing a lot, and sometimes I don't even know if it's PG-13. Component of the show really does give this element of, one, a lot of heteronormativity, but also this opportunity for men and women to watch the show together because there really is a little something for everyone. And say what you want about Gen Z being prudes, a lot of these contestants are Gen Z, and they're making out with each other just as much as the millennials or Gen X's did before them. So there's really a lot going on, and again, like I said, this show feels very primal. Now, if you're thinking this sounds like something that only a dim-witted person would enjoy, I implore you to look a little deeper. Now, actually mistaken if you were just writing off Love Island as lowbrow television. I mean, it might not be necessarily the most highbrow. Again, there's a lot of kissing and a lot of swimsuits. But I think Love Island has actually turned this very absurd premise into a hot topic of people from all walks of life for a reason. Because Love Island USA is showcasing these situations that are the most heightened version of a guy getting jealous of a girl getting hit on at a bar. Now, in this last week, Love Island USA producers, for the first time ever, allowed America to vote on a recoupling. If you thought that people like to talk about the Super Bowl, oh my goodness, was America feral for this conversation. There were over 500,000 votes that came in. When I looked, 700,000 plus people voted to break up this couple. In the beginning of this video, I dropped a hint that more people were talking and looking up Love Island USA on YouTube and Google than the NBA Finals. And I think this is a key reason why. When the NBA Finals are going, we're not voting on which players get to start. But in Love Island USA, we're able to chime in on exactly how we want to see the game played. Sounds pretty interesting, right? Now, don't forget, I'm Jones-Wesley, and I'm a cultural decoder. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. For a decade, American culture has been glorious, and there has been some really amazing unifying monocultural moments. Think about Super Bowl commercials. Think about iconic sitcoms, major news events. These were cultural glue, really pinnacle water cooler moments. They sparked conversations and they bridged demographics. But in our hyper-fragmented digital age, those moments, well, they're basically extinct. We've traded experiences for personalized algorithms. Our streaming queues are curated to terrifyingly specific tastes. Our news feeds are echo chambers. And our social circles often narrow to the people who look and think just like us. Now, there's something kind of validating about all of this segmented reality of our digital spaces. We get to make sure that the things that we think, maybe our friends think too. But I can't help but think that most of us have a quiet, nagging craving for something bigger. You know, when you used to walk into the grocery store and say, hey, how about that game last night? And people knew exactly what you were talking about because they probably watched it too. There's something really fun about all of us being in on something together. Americans really miss that collective hum. We miss that shared anticipation, the simple joy of having a universally understood thing to rant or rave about with strangers. The collective consciousness, if you will. And sure, sports, and bless our hearts, politics too, still manages to tug at us into national conversations, but it's often through the lens of very fierce competition or an exhausting polarization. We're all starving for a different kind of glue that feels less divisive and more about pure unadulterated fun. So enter Love Island. Again, something that's filling the modern void. A show about incredibly attractive people, again, most of the time in swimsuits, trying to find love, and let's be real, they're also trying to get some cash. But against all odds, Love Island USA has stepped up to the plate to be the space that we've all been kind of yearning for. It airs every single night, except for Wednesday, and then on Saturday, there's an After Sun special, which is initially just kind of a recap of the week's show. Now, this form of relentless broadcasting, it's appointment viewing all over again. And it kind of puts viewers in a rhythm where they know that there's something that they can talk about every single day with their friends. We're used to being able to watch 30 episodes of a show all at once. Love Island parses it out. Each week, we get 5 new episodes of this show. So I think that this daily rhythm really creates this powerful sense of anticipation and continuity. It becomes a reliable, gossipy anchor in an otherwise chaotic media consumption. You can count on Love Island, in other words. But the true genius, I think the real secret sauce, is how Love Island spills beyond the screen and explodes across our digital town square. It's on Twitter, it's on Threads, it's on YouTube, it's on TikTok, it's on Reddit. And these aren't just companion apps. There's also the heart of the Love Island experience coming into play here. People not only watch the show, but again, they go back to these apps to see if what they think about these characters can be validated through their favorite content creators, or they're joining in on the conversation themselves. So millions of viewers are transforming amateur cultural critics. They're armchair experts and lightning fast meme creators in real time. We're all collectively analyzing every whispered conversation in Soul Ties, every dramatic recoupling, and every bombshell who struts in. This isn't passive entertainment. It's active. It's communal. Our digital town square and in real life, we're predicting outcomes, forming fierce alliances to our favorite islanders and couples, and we're collectively dissecting human behavior in real time. So this show, its ability to generate its own slang, its own inside jokes, its own shared vocabulary, has instantly created a sense of belonging among a sprawling, diverse viewership. It mirrors the fervent analytical discussions traditionally reserved for sport pundits breaking down a game or political commentators dissecting a debate. But the stakes are way lower. We're not talking about life or death. It's basically a fantasy league where the players are falling in love, getting their hearts broken, making friends, and forming alliances in a friendly competition. This isn't just some niche phenomenon. It's a full-blown, undeniable cultural force. And when a nail-biting NBA Finals game landed on a Love Island night off last week, basketball fans online joked about the good fortune of not having to pick between their high-stakes hoops and their nightly fill of villa drama. That, my friends, speaks absolutely volumes where it comes into the collective attention truly lies. So, broadly speaking, Love Island also offers something a little bit more than just voyeuristic human analytics. Again, we're talking pure escapism. We all feel the weight of the world these days. The global news cycle is overwhelming, the political discourse is exhausting, and daily life can also feel like a relentless grind. So we're desperately all in need of a collective break. We're grateful for a space where we can immerse ourselves in drama that isn't our own and laugh at all of the relatable blunders. An scapegoat? Really? And boy, does the show deliver. The stunning Fiji villa is sun-drenched. Talk about vacation porn. It's vibrant. There's a perfect backdrop to relationship highs and lows. And the islanders, while they're experiencing very real stakes, for us, it's all just drama, baby. And we're able to kind of watch it in a soap opera way. So, when it's Love Island season, everyone cheers wildly at the bold romantic gestures, we gasp at the brutal betrayals, and we laugh hysterically at pretty much everything in between because the show is really funny, because people are really funny. So we're getting to do this all from the safety of our own couches. These people are putting their public perception on the line for our entertainment, and we're eating every bit of it up. In a lot of ways, there are a lot of conversations online where people liken this to the Hunger Games. But there's something really fun about watching these people fall in love and have friends, and this shared emotional roller coaster is incredibly bonding. It creates space for inclusion, and all of the fans of Love Island are so grateful that the show allows for this release of tension, a shared laugh, a communal sigh, and they're often trying to convert friends to be watchers of the show too, so that they can join in on all the fun. So, Love Island, it's not just a guilty pleasure, it's a crucial palate cleanser for the national psyche. It's a testament to our enduring human need for shared stories, collective emotional release, and, let's be honest, a little bit of lighthearted gossip. It proves that even as old forms of monoculture fade, our primal desire for communal experiences persist. We're simply finding new and unexpected ways to keep the party going. So, again, we're talking from a brand perspective. Now that you understand why we're all joining in on this Love Island USA craze, and now that you understand that maybe these consumers aren't as dim-witted as you thought, there's actually something that's happening that if you're a brand or a marketer or someone who works in the attention economy watching this, that there's a meteoric and, let's be honest, slightly baffling rise of Love Island offers a crucial lesson and reminder. Cultural moments still exist, but now they're found in new and dynamic and a little chaotic ways. So if you're a brand looking to tap into the new forms of monoculture, here are 3 ways that you can join in on these monocultural moments and make sure you don't miss the next one. Identify which digital water cooler matters. Where are the most electrifying conversations really happening, and how can you join them? I think that brands need to go a little bit further than just placing their names on ads. You have to engage deeply into your online communities. Sure, you could push out generic messages, but if you're jumping into the fray and truly engaging with fans in the comments or speaking their shared language, there's really something that can honor that unique fan culture, and you'll penetrate deeper. There's a hilarious NBA joke circling the internet where people are joking about the Love Island schedule, and that shows how entrenched this show is in everyday chatter and that it has effortlessly woven into other vibrant fandoms. Consider where and how your brand fits into that conversation. Now, number 2, you want to align with emotional resonance, not just demographics. So, Love Island thrives on deeply universal emotions, the dizzying thrill of falling in love, and the gut punch of betrayal. There's quiet strength of friendship, and there's raw drama of competition. Brands that can authentically tap into these fundamental human themes, rather than just targeting a narrow demographic, will forge a much deeper and more meaningful connection with this highly engaged audience. It's not just about Love Island, it's about knowing where your audience is feeling the pain points of being human. If you're able to play in to these truths, you'll be able to really find ways to speak to your audience through emotional empathy. Using Love Island as an example, imagine a brand subtly tying a recoupling challenge that aligns with core values. or creating content that celebrates the loyalty or authenticity theme so prevalently showcased throughout the villa. It's about finding the heart of the show, not just the superficial glitz. Number 3, and lastly, be nimble, be responsive, and find authenticity. Pop culture, especially in the digital zeitgeist, it moves at lightning speed. The bombshell analogy applies directly to marketing now. Brands need to be prepared to pivot, react, and capitalize on the fleeting viral moments with both speed and genuine authenticity. This means having a finger firmly on the pulse of the daily villa happenings, understanding the current mood of the fan base, and being able to quickly create content that resonates. Uninspired or inauthentic attempts will be called out faster than an islander being called out in a lie, and it could damage your reputation. So figure out how to have really quick standard operating procedures for approvals that really fit your brand story, but also match where everyone's talking about. You don't want a bombshell to come in and break up your relationship with your audience. For decades, American culture thrived on glorious, unifying monocultural moments. Think the Super Bowl commercials, finales of iconic sitcoms, major news events. These were the cultural glue. They sparked conversations, they bridged demographics, but in our hyper-fragmented digital age, these moments, they're basically extinct. We've shared experiences for personalized algorithms. Our streaming queues are curated to terrifyingly specific taste, and our news feeds are just echo chambers. Our social circles are often narrow to people who look, think, and watch exactly like us. And this automation, while giving us endless choices, also leaves us with a nagging craving for something bigger, something we can all be in on together. I think we miss that collective hum, the shared anticipation, and the simple joy of having a universally understood thing to rant or rave about with strangers. The shift in cultural gravity, where a reality dating show can quickly outsearch major sporting leagues, isn't a sign of intellectual decline. I promise, it's not. It's actually a quite profound, undeniable signal. It tells us that our collective yearning for shared experiences is powerful and persistent. We have simply found new and compelling arenas in our fragmented world. And for those with the insight to recognize these new cultural currents and adapt their strategies, the party is just getting started. So, what do you think? Are you a Love Island fan? What other unexpected cultural phenomenon have you noticed bringing people together? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'll be here with more cultural insights, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.